Welcome to our special report on the inauguration of the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train. And today marks the much-awaited moment for the people of Indonesia. After several delays, we will finally get to see and witness the soft launch of the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed rail. Now, President Joko Widodo has actually officially inaugurated the commercial operation of Wush. That is the name that was decided for the fastest train in Southeast Asia today. And also the official logo and ticket pricing will be unveiled really soon in the event, and we'll keep you updated on that. Now, the government has meticulously ensured various aspects, including safety measures and the readiness of the supporting stations. Now, before today, the public had already had a taste of the speedy Jakarta-Bandung train during the public trial runs conducted by PT KCIC. Now, over the two phases of the trial ride from September 18th to the 24th, and then from September 25th to the 30th, PT KCIC had issued at least 2,000 tickets daily. And that is totaling no less than 25,000 tickets for the public who have registered online previously. Now, of course, for all of us, this is such a historic and exciting moment. Indonesia will finally, officially, be among at least 20 countries across the world to have a high-speed railway. We also have a guest with us here today to talk more about Indonesia's newest mean of public transportation. But before we start with the first news, October 2nd actually also marks a very important day for all of us Indonesians. It is Batik Day. Hence, my outfit today, I'm wearing batik with a touch of a little bit of appreciation for our partner China for the PT KCIC project. So happy Batik Day for all of us today. And now let's take a look at reports that we prepared for you and consider this a little introduction to Wush before we follow along, and we will show you the soft launch inauguration moment of the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed railway. Let's have a look.
President Joko Widodo arrives at the Halim station at about 8:50 a.m. accompanied by, among others, Coordinating Minister for Maritime Affairs and Investment Luhut Binsar Panjaitan and Minister of Transportation Budi Karya Sumadi. The President and his entourage joined the operational trial of the high-speed train from Halim Station to Padalarang Station with a travel time of approximately 28 minutes at a speed of up to 351 km per hour. After that, the journey continues by riding the feeder train from Padalarang Station to Bandung Station. The travel from Padalarang Station to Bandung Station takes 20 minutes. Soft launching of the high speed is targeted to begin on October 1st, 2023. Train operation will be carried out gradually starting from 8 train trips a day in October. Then in November, there will be 28 train trips a day. In December, there will be 40 train trips. And in January 2024, there will be 68 train trips.
So again, a historic moment for us Indonesian as we finally officially welcome the first ever high-speed railway in Indonesia between Jakarta and Bandung. We will show you soon the official moment of inauguration where President Joko Widodo inaugurated this historical mode of transportation and, of course, a new phase in the development of infrastructure in Indonesia. While we wait for that inaugurative moment to be displayed here on the screen, first we will discuss further about the high-speed rail with our special guests today who are attending right here in the studio, also wearing a very smart and sharp batik along with me. We have Pak Aditya Dwi Laksana, Chairman of the Railway and Road Transport Forum. Hello, Mas Adit. Good morning.
Good morning, Mbak Siska.
Happy Batik Day
yes.
to all of us. I'm
Happy
sure,
Batik.
as someone who works in transportation, this must be a very exciting moment for
Yes,
you.
of course.
The first ever bullet train in Southeast Asia, now operating in Indonesia. How do you feel, Mas Adit?
Yes, first of all, I would like to express my congratulations to this inauguration of the high-speed railway Jakarta-Bandung. I think it is an important milestone for the Indonesian railways development. Indonesia officially became the first country in Southeast Asia region that operates the high-speed railway system. So it is a really significant achievement for the Indonesian railways.
Indeed, very historical and very exciting to know that we now have a fully functioning high-speed train with very advanced technology. And as we mentioned before, we're now going to show our viewers how the train is actually operating right now. I think we have some live feed from Halim Station. There it is. Quite a sight to see, Mas Aditya, to see an actual bullet train operating here in Indonesia, because President Joko Widodo is actually now in the train, commuting with the kereta cepat Indonesia-China.
After many delays,
Yes.
finally this high-speed train is ready to commercially operation.
It is indeed a much-awaited moment. Now, as we wait for further feed, I think you might gonna see some sort of statement from the Halim Station. So, Mas Adit, as we mentioned before, this is the first bullet train project in Southeast Asia. But not even that. Even some of the most advanced countries in the world, they don't have high-speed railway.
Yes, including the United States of America.
Even the United States, the most advanced country in the world, they don't have high-speed
They don't
railway.
have high-speed railways.
So maybe you can enlighten us a bit from the very beginning of the project. Why did Indonesia see the importance of having a high-speed railway right here in our country?
Yeah, if we talk about the reason and the background why the government of Indonesia decide to develop the high-speed railway in Indonesia, I think at least there are three main reasons, Mbak Siska.
Okay.
The first one is relates with the purpose to the modernizations of the railway technology in Indonesia. Because in my opinion, the high-speed technology of railways is a part of the important part of the future development of Indonesian railways.
Okay.
In the future, the railways development in Indonesia should be focused on at least three main areas. The first one is urban rail transport, the second one is the freight or logistic rail transport, and then third one and the last is the intercity train that use the high-speed technology. If the intercity train use the high-speed technology, it has a competitive advantage compared to the other transportation mode in the future, such as the toll road-based transport and the air transport or the flight transport. And the second one, for the reason I think it's related with the some expectation that through the operation of the high-speed train Jakarta-Bandung, it will accelerate and speed up the economic growth.
Of course.
In the area between Jakarta and Bandung, and maybe also open some new economic region of economic area growth. And then the third one I think it relates with the effort from the government to provide high quality public transport for the people, usually for the people who make traveling between Jakarta and Bandung. They will get more choices of public transport, they will get more competitive advantage transportation services compared to the other transport, such as the high level of the safety, high level of the punctuality, high level of comfort, and also the short time of travel. I think that's all.
Okay, so enhancing connectivity, giving people a better choices of more transportation.
And increase the mobility of the people also.
That's great.
With the increase of the mobility in line with the increase of the economic growth also.
All right. Thank you, Mas Adit. Now, I just heard that we actually have some documentation to show our viewers about the very moment where the high-speed railway was inaugurated. Let's have a look first at this documentation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Yang saya hormati Ketua dan pimpinan lembaga-lembaga negara, para menteri, Gubernur Provinsi DKI Jakarta, Gubernur Provinsi Jawa Barat, Duta Besar, negara-negara sahabat, para direksi dan komisaris PT KCIC, para direksi BUMN, Bapak Ibu hadirin dan undangan yang berbahagia. Kereta cepat Jakarta-Bandung ini merupakan kereta cepat pertama di Indonesia dan juga pertama di Asia Tenggara. Dengan kecepatan 350 km per jam. Dan kereta cepat ini kita namakan WUSH. W-H-O-O-S-H. Dibaca WUSH. Ini diinspirasi dari suara yang melesat dari kereta berkecepatan tinggi ini. Dan singkatan dari waktu hemat, operasi optimal, sistem hebat. Sekali lagi, W-H-O-O-S-H, tapi bacanya WUSH. Kereta cepat Jakarta-Bandung ini menandai modernisasi transportasi massal kita yang efisien, yang ramah lingkungan, dan terintegrasi dengan moda transportasi lainnya, maupun terintegrasi dengan TOD, Transit Oriented Development. Dan proyek kereta cepat ini merupakan hal baru bagi kita. MRT juga hal baru bagi kita, LRT juga hal baru bagi kita, kereta cepat juga hal baru bagi kita. Baru teknologinya, baru kecepatannya, dan juga konstruksinya. Baru juga model pembiayaannya. Semuanya serba baru. Dan kita tidak boleh takut belajar dan mencoba hal-hal yang baru. Dan dalam proses itu bisa muncul hal-hal yang tidak terduga. Kesulitan di lapangan, masalah-masalah, dan ketidaksempurnaan. Pengalaman itu mahal, namun sangat berharga, dan kita tidak perlu takut, karena jika kita konsisten, kesalahan itu akan semakin sedikit. Biaya kesalahan juga akan semakin menurun, dan pada akhirnya biaya produksi, biaya proyek lama-kelamaan juga akan semakin rendah. Karena itu saya pesan agar kita semuanya tidak alergi terhadap kritik dan tetap semangat untuk belajar. Karena pengalaman kita membangun infrastruktur, baik jalan tol, pelabuhan, bandara, bendungan, transportasi, telah memberikan pengalaman dan bekal kita untuk menghasilkan hasil-hasil yang lebih baik di masa depan. Keberanian kita mencoba hal-hal yang baru, memberikan kepercayaan, memberikan kita kesempatan untuk belajar kepada anak-anak bangsa, dan akan sangat berguna bagi masa depan, membuat SDM kita semakin maju dan bangsa kita semakin mandiri. Saya rasa itu yang ingin saya sampaikan, dan dengan mengucap Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, kereta cepat Jakarta-Bandung, WUSH, saya nyatakan dioperasikan. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
There you have it. That was the exact moment where our President Joko Widodo inaugurated the Bandung-Jakarta High-Speed Railway, a project that took quite a while to complete.
Yes.
Mas Adit, from 2015 when it
Yes.
first started
8 years.
until this very day when we finally see it being inaugurated by our president. As you see, President Joko Widodo was accompanied by the First Lady, Iriana Jokowi, and also the Chinese ambassador to Indonesia, His Excellency Lu Kang, and also Mr. Bambang Susatyo, the Speaker of the People's Consultative Assembly, signaling that this is a joint cooperation between two countries, China and Indonesia, a landmark project in the Belt and Road Initiative,
Yes.
which will signal great many future projects ahead. That's what we hope. Exactly, Mas Adit. Now, maybe you can tell us a little bit what you think about the president's speech. He mentioned about the name of the train, WOOSH, W-O-O-S-H, which
yeah.
actually is an acronym for Waktu Hemat, Operasi Optimal, and Sistem Hebat. So it covers everything that is great about the train, basically. From the time efficiency and from the operational aspect,
yes.
and also the technology that it applies, which is a monumental moment indeed for Indonesia. President Jokowi also mentioned it is efficient, it is clean and integrated. But he also mentioned that challenges may arise during this project, but this will be a great learning experience for future Indonesians. Your take on this, Mas Adit?
Yes, I think I agree with Mr. President that the name of the high-speed train whoosh represent the competitive advantage of this high-speed train, the time efficiency and the advance of the technology,
Yeah.
and then also the advance of the operation system, and also represent the speed of the high-speed train. So hopefully, I think I just want to say again the congratulations for this inauguration, but in my opinion, there is a big challenge regarding the sustainability of this
Okay.
operation of high-speed train, and hopefully government will provide full of support, especially for the beginning of the period of the operation of high-speed train, so this high-speed train can be survive and sustain.
Okay. Now, before we talk in deeper details about the benefits and also challenges in the future for this project, I want to take us back again at the beginning of the project. Now, as much as we are excited for the project now, but you may remember there are a lot of skeptics and naysayers, even to this day, about why Indonesia chose China as a partner for this mega project, costing around $7 billion US. It stretches for 142 kilometers, a mammoth development project indeed. As you know, at the beginning, it was between Japan and China. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about, behind-the-scenes stories on why did Indonesia end up working together with China for this project?
I think I have to be careful to answer this question, Mbak Siska, because in my opinion, the decision of the government to choose China looks like a last-minute decision.
Okay.
Why? Because previously, as far as I knew, Indonesia has also made cooperation with Japan to develop the high-speed railway system in Indonesia.
Okay.
They had prepared, they had done the feasibility study, especially for the line of Jakarta-Surabaya, and they also in the progress for preparing the basic engineering design.
Okay.
But after the visit of President Mr. Joko Widodo to the China in 2015, if I'm not mistaken, it significantly changed. China was chosen as a partner and also the investor for the construction and also the operation of the high-speed train for the line of Jakarta-Bandung. Why China was chosen? In my opinion, based on my assumption, it relates with the more favorable offering from the China from the perspective of Indonesia, such as what's the favorable? Maybe it's relates to the there is no requirement of government or state guarantee from the government of Indonesia. I think it's a very it's very a sweetener for this project for China. And the second one, I think it relates with the strong commitment from China to do the transfer of knowledge and transfer of technology from China to Indonesia to develop the Indonesia high-speed railway system for the future. And then the third one, I think it's more in the political aspect for the economic and bilateral relationship between two countries, Indonesia and China, and also the investment project. Maybe it relates also to the framework of the BRI, Belt and Road Initiative. This is the scheme of the cooperation between China and many countries in Asia to develop infrastructure and the related financing. I think that's all.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. That was really comprehensive, Mas Adit, and hopefully Indonesians will understand that the government's decision is definitely based on what is best for the country. So in terms of paying scheme,
I think this is a difficult choice between Japan and China. Japan is already built Shinkansen since 1964, if I'm not mistaken. So the long experience and the high quality of railway system. So I think it's the difficult choice for the government of Indonesia, but finally China was chosen.
They maneuvered really well with their commitment to transfer technology and knowledge, and with no sovereign guarantee, that also made it
Yes.
quite more comfortable for Indonesia to
Yes,
undergo
it's
this
more
project.
favorable.
Okay. Mas Adit, we will continue our discussion, but
Okay.
first I will go to our next item for our viewers to understand more about this project. So previously, the government has kicked off a competition to find more about the perfect brand logo for Whoosh, the high-speed train. Now, last standings are 3 designs. The public get to participate to vote for the winning logo, which will be revealed today in the inauguration ceremony. Let's have a look at this report.
After announcing the name Whoosh picked out for the fast train, the government has also sifted through a whopping 10 initial designs and has narrowed it down to the top 3 contenders. The logos are designed by Feed Studio, O Creative, and Visuals. First up is the creation from Feed Studio. Describe it as it's a matter of perspective. They have taken the word whoosh, synonymous with speed, and turned it into a dynamic visual using the power of perspective. Second logo is from Ear Creative, which uses the mesmerizing power of onomatopoeia inspired by the sound of whistling bamboo darts. They have crafted a logo that not only embodies the spirit of Whoosh, but also symbolizes the unification of a nation and the acceleration of Indonesia towards a brighter future. Last but not least, from Vicious, showcasing the trailblazing effects of the high-speed train with a cleverly designed by W logo. This visual masterpiece signifies that the fast-moving train is here to revolutionize Indonesia's progress in a big way. Which one will be named the official logo for Whoosh? Stay with TVRI World for the official unveiling later on the live inauguration ceremony broadcast.
Swift, efficient, and unmatched in speed, the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train reigns as the fastest train in Southeast Asia. The high-speed train connecting Jakarta and Bandung can reach speeds up to 350 kilometers per hour, making it the fastest in Southeast Asia. Chairman of the Railway and Road Transport Forum, Aditya Dwi Laksana, stated that the high-speed train offers several advantages, primarily by saving travel time for passengers, taking more or less 45 minutes travel time from Jakarta to Bandung and vice versa. Additionally, this high-speed train brings about other positive impacts, such as technology transfer, the potential to create job opportunities, boosting the local economy for the community, as well as being an inclusive and disability-friendly public transportation. So, Mas Adit, we can all understand why Indonesians are so excited about today, the final official launching of the high-speed train. Although the public trial has been going on for quite a while, we've had so many enthusiastic passengers trying out the high-speed train. And you can say that the sense of belonging is really big from Indonesians, from Indonesian communities. Like as you can see when we reported about the design logo competition, there was a big turnout for that as well. The winner of the design logo was number 3, if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations for the winner. And we also have some information about how the tickets will remain free until middle of October. We are still waiting on confirmation about the pricing of the ticket. And there'll be 8 trains rides each day, 4 from Halim and 4 from Tegaluar. They will enjoy that free ride at the moment. We are still waiting for confirmation about that. So as you can understand, the public anticipation and also expectation is quite high when it comes to this high-speed train. But as you know, the process was not smooth sailing from the beginning, even until today. So a lot of people were asking about reasons of the delay of the launching. Maybe you can shed a light a little bit on that, Mas Adit. What actually happened? Why was it delayed for quite a few times?
Yes, Ms. Siska. So many delays, so many problems that face in the process of the construction and also there are some incident and accident also during the construction. I think this is a part of the process and
Okay.
many challenges to realize this project. And in my opinion, it's back to the first stage of the planning. So in my opinion, no comprehensive planning
Okay.
and less in-depth of the study, such as the study of the demand forecast, study of the mitigation
Okay.
of the accident, like, and also the endemic of the COVID-19 make this project more
More
complex.
challenging.
Yes, more challenging. And also the unrealistic deadline for this project is pressure this project. So I think should become a lesson learned for us, for the government of Indonesia, when the high-speed train is extended from Bandung. I think like that.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. I mean, people sometimes wonder, does it mean that it's safe to ride? Of course, the reason why we have those delays is to ensure the safety aspect. So right now, people can feel safe and
Yes.
have this as one of the choices of mode of transportation between the two cities.
I think because this high-speed train used an advanced technology, so the safety is a priority, Mbak Siska.
Yes.
So I think one of the competitive advantage of this high-speed train is the high level of the safety. So
Yes, indeed. As our president has mentioned, this is a transportation that is efficient, it is clean, it is integrated. And as this is the landmark project of the Belt and Road Initiative, this is the first, I think, train project that uses complete Chinese technology. And the project itself is, you could say, a pride and joy in China even. They are very proud of this project. And we are talking about next generation of railway, fast, rapid, efficient, and also clean. I think that's a very major aspect of this project, and it brings connectivity between two major cities into the next level. How do you think this will open up opportunities for Indonesians, especially in Jakarta and Bandung and the rest of Java?
Yeah, I think there are some expectation that through the operation of this high-speed train, it will speed up and accelerate the economic growth between Jakarta and Bandung, and also it will increase the people mobility between two cities. If the people mobility increase, so I think the economic growth also increase. And then the other one, I think it relates with the opening some new economic area, especially for the area surrounds the station of the high-speed train, such as the new commercial area, new residential area, and maybe new tourism destination area also. So, and hopefully also the economic creative and the economic of the small and medium enterprises also can be growth also, Mbak Siska.
Okay, that's very interesting. I'm still amazed by the fact that Indonesia now has a train that can go up to 350 kilometers per hour. Only a handful of countries have that operating right now. Indonesia is now one of them.
Yeah, 20 maybe.
And just the one in Southeast Asia. So that is remarkable itself. Now, President Joko Widodo took that train about 45 minutes ago from Halim, and we hear that any minute now he'll be arriving in Padalarang. And we'll give you the live footage from President Joko Widodo's arrival. I think we have it now, Mas Adit. I think the Padalarang station is now just getting ready to welcome President Joko Widodo and his entourage as he take the official maiden voyage of the high-speed train as it's going to arrive in Padalarang. We're going to show you the moment he arrives. In the meantime, let's go back to talking about the many benefits of this project. Now, as I mentioned before, Indonesia is now one of the, if I can say, middle-tier countries in the world that already has a bullet train operating. I mean, the other countries that have this are essentially developed countries. We are still a middle developing country, but already we have a high-speed railway. So essentially we are leapfrogging all these other developed countries. What does this mean for future developments, especially in mass transportation in Indonesia, Mas Adit?
Yeah, I think in my opinion, for the future of the development of Indonesian railways, the high-speed train is the important part of the intercity trains in the future. So as I said before, if the intercity train use the high-speed technology, it will give more high competition. It will give the competitive advantage compared to the other transportation tools such as the air traffic and also the toll road based transport. So I think in the future, but I think the key point is the technology transfer and the knowledge transfer, Mbak Siska.
Yeah.
I think this is the keywords for this high-speed train, because there is a hope that in the future Indonesia must have the capability to build and also to operate the high-speed railway in the future. So the keyword I think is the transfer of technology and the transfer of knowledge. When the transfer of the technology and the transfer of knowledge from China to Indonesia is running well, the human resources of Indonesian railways can enhance their skill, their capability, their knowledge to learn and to adopt the high-speed technology, and hopefully in the future Indonesia can construct and build and operate the high-speed train.
And that it becomes sustainable in a way that it can go on for, more advancing of the train tracks. That's a very great point. That's a good point, Mas Adit. And I think, again, we need to underline that is one of the reasons why Indonesia chose China as partner for this project, because of that transfer of technology commitment from China. Not only they are really open with the technology that they use, but they also are training Indonesians to be able to operate it on their own. So that is
I think the first one, Indonesia has made the cooperation with China to strengthen the national railway industry, PT Inka, to adopt the technology of the high-speed train, and also cooperation to enhance the capability of the human resources of Indonesian railways to operate and to build the technology of the high-speed train. I think it is the important point, and also in addition, the transfer of knowledge during the transition period like this. The operation of the high-speed train is managed by two parties, Indonesia and China. So the transfer of knowledge should be carried out.
Excuse me, I think we're now going to go to Padalarang Station. President Joko Widodo has now arrived at the station after departing from Halim Station around 40 minutes ago. So that was swift again. Very apt to the name of the train itself, whoosh. It went by like that. Can you imagine, Mas Adit? Usually it takes about 3 to 4 hours to go to Bandung, normal travel time before this. But now, cut that travel time to 40 minutes.
40 minutes
really
until
change.
Tegaluar, Mbak Siska. But for the Padalarang, maybe it takes only 27 or 28 minutes.
Okay, so 40 minutes to Tegaluar, but to Padalarang,
maybe 30 minutes,
30
around
minutes.
30 minutes.
That would completely change the way people commute now.
Yes, compared to the 3 hours, 3.5 hours using the road base and existing train.
Exactly. And at least, like you said, Mas Adit, it will give people more choices. There are more options in traveling between the two cities. Usually it's between, the normal train operators that we're already familiar with, the Argo Parahyangan, or you take the toll road, and that's it. But now we have another option.
Yes, but I think it significantly depends on the how too easy to access the station and how good the connectivity from each station. So I think if the people want to use the high-speed train, so there should be any good of the connectivity and accessibility of the station.
That's one area that could
and
need some improvement.
The important point is the price of the ticket.
We're still waiting on that. We're still waiting on the confirmation. So we see now people are coming out of the train of whoosh. So we hear from our Chinese counterparts that these trains are exactly the same ones that are used in China. This is like the same technology, the same type of trains, and this train is now connecting the two cities. And as you can see here, our president, Joko Widodo, has stepped out, is being welcomed by officials
Oh,
in
the new logo is already put in the train.
It's already
but-
put. We already have a winner for
Yes.
the logo design competition.
Yes.
Again, congratulations to the winner. Must be a really proud feeling to have your design plastered on such a
Maybe
big
last night.
project.
Maybe last night this logo is just put
Ready
at the
for this
train.
morning.
Yes, ready for
Yeah.
this morning.
As you can see, everybody has smiles on their faces. Everybody's excited.
Yes, high level of enthusiasm.
Yes,
high
indeed.
level. A big euphoria, Mbak Siska. For
Indeed.
this. Yeah.
Everybody's now feeling optimistic and hopeful for the future of more developments in Indonesia and China. Now, as we see big smiles all over, everybody's so excited, and we've received many enthusiastic comments from everywhere about this project. But do you think it will hold up? I mean, what we want is people taking this train to Bandung, you know, to have this project to be sustainable. What do you think? Will the enthusiasm continue?
In my opinion, at least for the next 6 months,
Okay.
there is a big euphoria, high enthusiasm for the people of Indonesia because it is something new. It
Yeah.
represents the advance of the high technology of the public transport. So I think people of Indonesia want to try to ride this train, but I think
Ketibaan Presiden Joko Widodo bersama Ibu
Yeah, I
Iriana
think
tadi tampak
we
disambut
have some
meriah
audio.
dengan
Just gonna make sure that.
dari Jawa Barat.
Okay, we're gonna make sure, but please
Sejumlah
okay.
continue, Mas Adit.
Yes, but I think when the euphoria and the enthusiasm is decline, so I think it is the real challenge for the operator PT KCIC to maintain the market,
Yeah.
to create a captive market, because I think this is just for the temporary period, and yeah, this is also the temporary situation. So
Okay.
after the 6 months, I think the PT KCIC should have a maximum effort
Yeah.
to create a captive market,
Okay.
to maintain the passenger volume,
Yeah,
and yeah, I think
Okay.
this is an extra effort.
yeah. So keep giving good service, making sure of the connectivity aspect
Yes.
of both stations so people can get there easier,
Yes.
basically. Hopefully people will choose this mode of transportation
Hopefully.
over the others.
Yeah,
Okay.
hopefully.
Now-
And depend on the price of the ticket.
Which we are still waiting confirmation
Yes.
on. But it's also quite a dilemma, right, Mas Adit, when we talk about ticket pricing. I mean, if it's too low, then it's hard for PT KCIC, you know, to have an operational fund. But if it's too high, then it cannot be competitive. What do you think should be the middle ground here in deciding the ticket price?
Yes, that is the challenge
Yeah.
for KCIC, because basically the high-speed train is more optimal and efficient if it operates at the range of distance from 200 kilometers until 800 kilometers. In Jakarta-Bandung, the distance is only about 140 kilometers.
Okay.
Basically, it is not efficient for high-speed train to operate at the relatively short range of distance, because the first one is there is a high competition with the toll road-based transport.
Okay.
So it is difficult to set a competitive price of the ticket because there are tight competition with the other transportation mode. So I think this is the challenge for the KCIC to set a reasonable price that will attract the passengers to use the high-speed train.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can still piggyback on the public's enthusiasm for Wush, this train ride,
Wush.
so we can have a full compartment, at least for the next 6 months. That would help with the operation side of it. And as we speak now, President Joko Widodo has actually departed the Padalarang station and is now on his way to Bandung City using one of the many
Feeder
feeders
trains,
that are available there in
Yes.
Padalarang station.
This is a
So-
part of the connectivity.
Exactly. But now we'll continue with the next item first. The Jakarta-Bandung high-speed rail this week kicked off its trial runs. Now, members of the public participating in the trial, this is a few months back, are highly enthusiastic, and the seat quota for the first phase of the trial run was fully booked. Now, following our responses from those participating in the trial run.
Akses-aksesnya itu juga cukup memudahkan lah untuk masyarakat.
Fasilitasnya sudah bagus ya, karena kan ada 3 kelas kereta di kereta cepat ini, terus bersih juga, nyaman, dan stabil gitu pas jalannya walaupun kecepatannya sangat tinggi ya.
Fasilitasnya bagus ya, dan tempat duduknya juga nyaman. Terus juga ininya juga meja lipatnya juga bagus, terus AC-nya juga bagus. Dan pelayanan
Tentu saja kalau misalnya harapan saya sih ini nggak cuma ada di Jakarta-Bandung aja, tapi mungkin bisa di luar Pulau Jawa biar seluruh masyarakat Indonesia tuh juga bisa ngerasain apa sih kereta cepat seperti apa, terus memudahkan juga pertumbuhan ekonomi nggak cuma di Jawa tapi juga di pulau-pulau lainnya gitu.
Harapannya kereta cepat ini bisa diperpanjang sampai ujung Pulau Jawa atau mungkin di pulau-pulau lainnya ya di Indonesia, dan semoga harga tiketnya murah.
ini kan proyek yang ambisius ya. Saya berharap sih ini bisa lebih cepat lagi supaya jangan ke Tegaluar aja, tapi cepat ke kota lainnya. Kalau bisa sampai ke Surabaya sih.
The Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train is the first high-speed railway project in Indonesia and even Southeast Asia region, with a track length of 142.3 kilometers and an operating speed of 350 kilometers per hour. Let's have a look on the train's performance.
Currently, I am standing in front of the very first high-speed railway train in Indonesia and as well in Southeast Asia. It is called Kereta Cepat Jakarta-Bandung, and it connects 2 cities. First, the capital of Indonesia, Jakarta, as well as another big city, Bandung. What is interesting in that is that there is already a very full route between these 2 cities because there are about 40 million cars that go through the Bandung toll gate every single year, and as well as an additional 4 million passengers that commute through the intercity trains. Usually, travel to Bandung would take around 3 hours by car. However, now with the presence of this high-speed rail, it will take only around 45 minutes. This project is a joint project between Indonesia as well as China. There has been talk since decades ago with Japan and China both being very interested, but China is finally winning the bid. And it's very interesting because in these trains, it is not like a usual high-speed railway train, but there are also Indonesian characteristics that are blended into the train. Well, I am so excited to be here. This train can run about 142 kilometers per hour with a very top speed of 350 kilometers per hour. Well, without further ado, why don't we check out the train and look at what it's like inside.
China and Indonesia signed an agreement in October 2015 to establish the joint venture to build and operate a high-speed railway service connecting 2 of Indonesia's largest cities, Jakarta and Bandung. With a top speed of 350 kilometers per hour, the average travel time between the 2 cities will be reduced to 45 minutes from the initially 3 to 5 hours. The project is expected to create positive economic impact, generate thousands of new jobs, and lead to growth in all sectors. On January 21, 2016, President Joko Widodo attended the groundbreaking ceremony of the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train project in the Mandalawangi Maswati Tea Plantation, Cikalongwetan Subdistrict, West Bandung Regency, West Java. At that time, this fast train project had already been included in a national strategic project. The Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train is the first overseas construction project of the Chinese Railway Authority that fully employed technology and industrial components of the Chinese railway systems. The Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train uses the latest generation of the CR400AF train cars. This train has a track length of 142.3 kilometers, which stretches from Jakarta to Bandung. This train effectively makes travel time shorter and more flexible for people with maximum amounts of activity. It is also considerably green, as it is electrically driven with no direct carbon emissions during its operations. In its operations, the train service will be divided into 3 classes. First-class passengers are placed in railcars 1 and 8, business-class passengers in railcar 7, while the rest are for premium economy class. In addition to dining car facilities, the high-speed train offers charging ports, facilities for disabled people, and luggage storage space. The interior of the train features traditional Indonesian Megamendung batik patterns on their seats. A first-class rail car has 18 gray fall leather seats with a 2-1 seat arrangement. A business-class rail car has 28 red fall leather seats with 2-2 seat arrangement. Meanwhile, a premium economy class rail car has 555 blue and gray suede seats with a 3-2 seat arrangement. The high-speed railway has 4 stopping stations: Halim, Karawang, Padalarang, and Tegaluar, with 1 depot available at Tegaluar. Each station will be connected to public transit routes. From the total length of the high-speed railway route, more than 80 kilometers are elevated, while the rest goes through 13 tunnels with subgrade construction. The Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train has become part of the Indonesian community's dream to develop beyond transportation and offer more than just business. By creating harmony in combining transportation and regional integration in a sustainable manner.
That was the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train performance. Of course, it is very promising to see how beautiful the train looks and the high performance that it provides to all commuters from Jakarta-Bandung. I love that Indonesian touch actually on the inside with the application with the Megamendung batik. Exactly what I'm wearing right now.
Yes, that's right.
Because it's batik day, so I'm wearing Megamendung batik with a touch of this Chinese
From
color.
China version.
Yeah, as appreciation to the partnership between Indonesia and China for the inauguration of the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed railway. Now, Mas Adit, I would love to get your opinion about the infrastructure development for this project, but not just about the trains, but also the supporting stations. Okay, but before that, we're going to go to our next item. So earlier, CGTN's Li Qian also had an interview with experts from China to give some insights about the high-speed rail project in Indonesia. Now, here are the details from that conversation.
Now here in the Beijing studio with us to discuss the landmark project under the Belt and Road Initiative, I'm joined by Professor Liu Zhixin, a senior fellow at the Chongyang Institute for Financial Studies at Renmin University of China, and Mr. Einar Tangen, a political and economics affairs commentator and Taihe Institute senior fellow. Great to have both of you with us on the program. So let's talk about the railway. This is one of the busiest world corridor. We're talking about bullet train. It's finally happening in Indonesia, a massive project costing about $7 billion US. It's going to cut travel time between Jakarta and Bandung from 3 to 5 hours to just 36 minutes. I mean, that's pretty remarkable. We're talking about the next generation, fast, rapid, and efficient connectivity in Indonesia now. What kind of fresh opportunities will this bring to Indonesia and its people? Einar first.
Well, obviously, all the enthusiasm that you're stating. No, I mean, it's very important. Connectivity. This is really the Belt and Road Initiative, ASEAN working, RCEP. It's all kind of coming together. You cannot develop your nation if you don't have the connectivity, the infrastructure that's there. So the first country outside of China to have this high-speed rail, entirely Chinese high-speed rail. And very interesting background. It was a big competition with Japan, and China won by, in essence, offering to do the project without sovereign guarantees. Very important. And they also offered to make it a joint development project by having a joint venture to assemble cars. So China is on this. This is really just the first link. There's another series of links that they hope will connect the entire island, because it's a very long, fairly narrow island. Having that fast rail will make a huge difference to business.
And this is the first bullet train in Southeast Asian countries. I mean, and the train can run up to 350 kilometers per hour. Only a handful of countries can do that, and now Indonesia has one. We're talking about the cutting-edge technology there. What kind of competitiveness would that add to Indonesia in this region and beyond?
I think many people in Indonesia told me that they have realized their dream that to have a high-speed railway, because there's so many people came to China. They know that how functioning that Chinese high-speed railway. They always dreamed that to have one similar in Indonesia. Now the dream is realized, so they were so happy. I think they will have received comprehensive benefits from this project. First, I think they get to know that many connections with the outside, and especially in this region, that to show their capability. Even this railway built with the help from China, but without the Indonesians' help and the technical assistance, this project cannot be realized. So that's why they show their ability and the capability, increased their own confidence and trust to their own technology. This is very important.
You know, I'd like to add, there's really important thing. Europe and America don't have this. So this represents a middle-tier developing country actually leapfrogging, all right, the supposed developed countries. I mean, Japan obviously has it, but this is really a landmark for a country that, sees itself in the middle, still emerging.
And it's not only with Indonesia. I mean, for other countries in Southeast Asia, enhancing efficiency and sustainability of their transport systems seem to be a common priority. What kind of useful experiences could this project offer to other similar projects in the region?
I think the basic is that the awareness, or we call it this honest attitude towards this developing country, to our partners here. Because we have different ways in the world to build up such project or to help other countries. One is the Western style, the other is the Chinese style. We now try to show our style in this project, because equality is the basic requirement for all. And nowadays, I think we will find new projects and also different projects in different ways. And also in other countries, not only in Indonesia, we find equality to make the people feel very reliable, very comfortable, and very trustful to you. In this way, that we can have a closely discussion, technical exchanges, and also the standardization of this all project. And transparent is another way that for both sides. We give that all these things that they want to know. We do not want to hide anything in secrets. So just like something like chips now embargoed by the Western. Yeah. So this is the big difference. When you are talking about with this Indonesia and the other country in this region, they always have the similar idea, similar feeling that they said Chinese are more reliable, transparent, honest. We can discuss everything. Everything is possible through discussion.
And in concrete terms, that means that these are going to be looked at as project by project. So are they feasible? And that is the issue. Debt is not an issue as long as it's creating wealth, a return. So China has switched to this, and this is going to be very, very important throughout the Belt and Road, because they're not giving money to a country. What they're doing is this project makes sense. It's not only part of your infrastructure, it's not only linked up, but it will return the money that is necessary so that more projects can be done. And that kind of evergreen approach, very, very powerful. And it'll do away with this tetraplopromosi.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen, for discussing the importance of this new railway under the Belt and Road Initiative framework. And that's all we have here in Beijing. Now back to you, Siska and Rahmat.
So that was my Chinese counterpart, Liu Chuan from CGTN. Thank you so much for giving us the Chinese perspective on this mega project between Indonesia and China. And now I'll go back to my guest, Mas Aditya Dwi Laksana, Chairman of the Railway and Road Transport Forum, who's been enlightening us with many insights so far. Thank you, Mas Adit, for sharing us your expertise on this. But now that we've had the Chinese perspective just now, I would love to talk with you a little bit more about the Belt Road Initiative from China. Now, as we know, President Joko Widodo's government has been focused on the expansion of infrastructure, especially mass transportation, for most part of his 2 terms governing in Indonesia. And that should be in line, that seems to be in line with the Belt and Road Initiative, a project that was put forward by President Xi Jinping back in 2013. Now, how do you think this come together?
Yeah, but Siska, I think it cannot be denied that the mega project, the big infrastructure need financial support, the strong financing and commitment for the long term, for the long term period. So I think Belt and Road Initiative, I think this is the cooperation between China and many countries, including the Indonesia. So I think for the development of the infrastructure to the future, including the railway infrastructure, Indonesia still need the financial support, still need the investment to expand its infrastructure development. So I think BRI is one of the choice for the Indonesia to expand its infrastructure development and also the needs of the financing of the project.
Okay, I think that's the tricky part with infrastructure projects. Not only it needs a humongous fund, but it takes a long time to complete and then to actually enjoy the benefits. So that is why a strong partnership is needed, and a lot of it is expected from Indonesia and China's partnership. People say this is the first phase, the beginning of what we hope will be a fruitful cooperation between the 2 countries. How do you see it, Mas Adit?
Yes, I think if we take a look at the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train, it's only at the short of distance. So there is a big possibility to extend the project, let's say until maybe Semarang to Surabaya, maybe up to Yogyakarta until Surabaya. So there is a big possibility to expand not only for this project high-speed train, but also the other mega project of the infrastructure. So I think there is a big possibility of the Belt and Road Initiative for continuing project and investment in Indonesia, as long as there is a win-win solution and mutual cooperation between 2 countries.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about the win-win situation and what sort of mutual cooperation should be conducted. But first, we'll take a short break, Mas Adit.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. Our special report will be back after these short messages. Welcome back to our special report for the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway on TVRI World. Still with me, Siska Becker. I have my final questions for my guest, Mas Aditya Dwi Laksana, Chairman of the Railway and Road Transport Forum. You mentioned just before the break what is essential to have a sustainable partnership between China and Indonesia is to have a win-win partnership, something that is mutually beneficial to both countries. Before we delve into that, Mas Adit, maybe you can also share with us, in terms of our overall infrastructure goal development in Indonesia, how has the high-speed train contributed to that goal?
Yeah, as I explained before, Mbak Siska, there are many positive and prospective impact through the presence of the high-speed railway system in Indonesia for the improve the quality of the public transport, and also relates to the transfer of technology, and also relates also in at the creating of the economic growth between the Jakarta-Bandung. And I think for the as I said before, the three prospective benefit, it will lead to the improvement of the economic growth and also the economic development of Indonesia. And in many countries, high-speed train is used as a booster of the economic growth, not only just a public transport. So it is expected also it can be created in Indonesia.
Okay, because indeed mobility and connectivity really serves well when you want to have growth in the region.
High mobility will lead to the economic growth also.
Okay, there's no way around it. So it's essential to have this new mode of transportation to boost that mobility and connectivity. Now, Mas Adit, at the beginning when we showed President Joko Widodo's speech at the inauguration moment, he mentioned that this will be a very valuable learning experience for Indonesia. What do you think will be the most valuable thing that we can learn from our Chinese counterparts as we are partnering now for this project in terms of technology, in terms of handling the project itself? What other aspects can you think of when it comes to learning substances?
Yes, I think the key point, as I said before, is the transfer of technology and transfer of knowledge. We expected that from the cooperation between Indonesia and China, so there is a smooth, there is a well running of the transfer of technology. So in the future, hopefully Indonesia will is able to construct, to build, and to run the operation of the high-speed train. So I think the key point of the cooperation with the China for this high-speed train project is the transfer of technology and the transfer of knowledge.
Okay, so for us Indonesians, it is essential and vital to make the most of this opportunity to learn much, to absorb everything that we can, so to have a sustainable ongoing project in the future.
Indonesia also can strengthen its national railway industry. So our national railway industry can adopt the more high-speed technology, more the advance of the rail technology. So it will improve also the credibility and the image of the Indonesian railways in the future.
Okay, my last question, Mas Adit, and this can be your closing statement as well as we wrap up today's special report. Now, as you mentioned, win-win solution, mutually beneficial to both countries. Can you elaborate a little bit more while also expressing your hopes and wishes as we finally arrive here on the day of the official inauguration of the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Rail? Please, Mas Adit.
Yes, I think I hope, I have an expectation, but through the operation of the WUSH, the Jakarta-Bandung, the WUSH train, Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train, it will give the maximum benefit to the people of Indonesia. In the future, Indonesia can continuously improve their technology, their quality of the public transport. So I think the mutual benefit, it means that the benefit should be provide to the people of Indonesia.
Okay, because that is the roots of all the growth and success we want to see. Is felt by the people, not
Yes,
just by
it's felt by the people.
not just by the elites and by the leaders of the country,
Yes.
but more essentially by the people itself.
Yes, correct,
Okay,
Mbak
that's a
Siska.
very good point. Thank you, Mas Adit.
Thank you, Mbak Siska.
For sharing with us your time
You're
and your
welcome.
expertise. Congratulations to you as well. I presume with all the people behind your team who must be very excited for today as well. Hopefully we can see each other at Halim or maybe Padalarang.
Okay.
Using the train station.
Hopefully.
Thank you. Mas Aditya Dwi Laksana, Chairman of the Railway and Road Transport Forum. Once again, thank you for your time here. Always
You're
enjoy
welcome,
your
Mbak
insights
Siska.
with TVRI
Thanks for this
World.
invitation.
Of course, it's our pleasure. And that is the end of our special report for the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway inauguration. Stay tuned to TVRI World for further reporting from this historical moment. But for now, I'm Siska Becker signing off. Thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye.